God.
Hello.
Hello.
Welcome to the X's and O's book discussion. We have Lena, Gwen, and Summer here. Lauren, unfortunately, is not feeling well, so she won't be joining us, but she didn't read the book, so it kind of works out in a way. I mean, we wish she was here, but if you notice she's not here, that's why. But yeah, I thought while the comments pile in, I did put on the comments to, let us know if you've read the book, what you thought, your ratings. But we'll just go Lena, Gwen, and Summer. But if you want to give like a short introduction, do you have any Valentine's Day plans? And what did you read during the readathon?
So I'm Lena. My channel is Lena's Bookshelf. That's also my handle on Instagram. And I typically read thrillers and historical, like fiction type, but every now and then I read romances. So I had to throw in a thriller and a historical fiction. So I read the buddy read for the prompt with red on the cover. And then I read My Darling Husband by Kimberly Bell. And I read that for the forced proximity prompt. So that was my thriller. And then my historical fiction, I actually had on 3 times speed to finish before we got on here. And it was What She Left Behind by Ellen Marie Wiseman. And I did that for the conversation hearts prompt because it has the word left in it for the swipe left heart.
Cute.
And as far as Valentine's Day plans go, my boyfriend and I have a tradition that just kind of happened where we get wings. So the first month that we were dating was February, and we were not really sure if we wanted to do the Valentine's Day thing. And he just happened to show up at my house. He was like, "I'm bringing you dinner. I'm just bringing wings." And I was like, "You're bringing me dinner on February 14th. Okay. And I didn't say anything about it or whatever. Didn't even acknowledge it. It was just thanks for bringing me dinner. And then the next year we did the same thing. And so now it's just our tradition. We just eat wings at home. So
That's
cute.
I love that.
Okay, so my name is Gwen. My channel name is Gwendolyn Kinsinger, as you see on the screen. But my Instagram handle is @LavenderMud. So for the readathon, I read Set on You by Amy Lee, which is the first book in the influencer series. I read X's and O's, which is the buddy read and the second book in the influencer series. I read Booked on a Feeling by Jessie Lee, and I also DNF'd Authentically Izzy. And then I started This Might Hurt by Stephanie Warble, which actually finished up today. So I'm not officially counting it towards the readathon, but whatever. And it's interesting because if you were on team O, this book really accounts for a lot of the prompts. It's the buddy read, obviously. Mm-hmm. It has pink on the cover. It has the and, which is one of our conversation hearts, and it is friends to lovers. So actually, if you read this and you're on team O, you knocked out everything in one go. Mm-hmm. So anything else was just kind of bonus. So yeah, for Valentine's Day, I'm actually doing a combination birthday Valentine's Day because my birthday is on the 13th and Valentine's Day is on the 14th. So we usually just to do a combination dinner thing, but my personal life, my real life, whatever, is a little crazy right now. So I don't know what I'm going to be doing this year.
Sorry, I'm getting over a cold, so I'm going to be doing that a lot. I'm Summer from the channel Seasons Readings. That's also my Instagram handle. What am I supposed to say?
What you read for the readathon?
Okay. And your Valentine's Day plans.
Okay, perfect. So for the readathon, I read the buddy read, and I did this one for pink on the cover, and like Gwen said, literally everything else too. And then I also read for the conversation heart one. I did Your Soul is a River by Nikita Gill. It's a poetry collection. I didn't really like it, to be honest with you. But yeah, it's fine though. It was only 100 and something pages, so it's super quick.
Yeah.
Valentine's Day plans. Valentine's Day is kind of weird because my birthday was yesterday, and then there's Valentine's Day next week, and then the week after that is my husband's birthday. So it just kind of feels a lot going on. So we usually don't do anything too crazy for Valentine's Day. We'll probably just get dinner or something like that and bring it home, watch an anime or something. So yeah.
Cute. Did you have a good birthday?
I did, yeah.
Yay.
Everybody made me feel so special.
Good. What about you, Jessie?
Well, I'm Jessie. Thank you for asking. I'm reading with Jess on both Instagram and here. I read, of course, the buddy read X's and O's. Otherwise, I wouldn't be here. I read that one. I think this was for the forced proximity prompt, and it also has red on the cover. So there's two. I checked the conversation hearts again because I don't think "and" is one of our words, but this book fit 5 out of 6 prompts, which was not really planned, but it's great. As far as the other books I read The Reunion by Kayla Olson, which is a book of the month book, so I can check that one off. And then I still have my bookmark, but I DNF'd Drunk on Love because I was not vibing with it. So this was for the conversation heart because on spelt backwards is no. And I guess that was a sign that I should not have cheated because I DNF'd it.
That's what you get.
That's what you get.
My red on the cover.
Did anybody else DNF anything? Because I DNF'd a book. Jessie DNF'd a book. What about you guys? Okay.
I almost DNF'd.
Oh, you did? Okay. If anybody in the comments DNF'd a book, let us know. I want to know what to avoid.
Definitely let us know. So I'm not going to go through the comments until like I see everyone's comments. It looks like everyone rated the book pretty highly, in my opinion. Like we got some 4 stars, some 5 stars. There was a 5-star. Oh, right there. 5 stars. So awesome. But we're going to ask some questions regarding the book. There is a spoiler-free section, and then there is a spoiler section at the end. But feel free to comment down below. And of course, we will let you know when we get to the spoiler section. So, we do have a DNF, by the way, like a sister that powered through. Almost DNF, excuse me.
Yeah, almost.
Yeah, that one didn't do it for me either.
All right. Avoiding it at all costs.
Gwen, I feel like is the greatest at like describing synopsises. So I put her in charge
It's
of like
just lots of practice, girl. Lots of practice. Okay, so obviously it's a romance book, and I really do think it's like a rom-com, so that's good because that's my favorite. But so we have Trevor and Tara, and Trevor is a firefighter that does not mind rushing into burning buildings, but he doesn't like to rush into relationships. And then he gets this new roommate, Tara, who is trying to track down her exes because she has this work function that she wants to go to, and she doesn't want to go alone because it's around Valentine's Day. And so she like ropes in Trevor to help her track down her exes. And through that journey for both of them, they realize that maybe what they're looking for is closer than they think.
Oh, see, that's such a good job. Like, I made her do this. Because she's just that good at giving synopsises. Okay. So everyone read this. So the next question I thought, because I knew Lauren had not read the book, but everyone read the book, but what prompt did you use it for? Obviously, we've already answered that question for multiple different prompts and things like that. So we'll just skip that one. But Tara is a massive fan of romance tropes. So what are your favorite and least favorite romance tropes? And everyone comment down below. We'd love to know. Whoever wants to go first. It does not matter.
We'll go in the circle.
Okay. So I guess Elena.
Okay. So some of my favorite tropes are one bed. I love fake dating. And I like forced proximity. So those are some of my favorites. Some of my least favorites are second chance romance, miscommunication, and then I also am not really a fan of like enemies to lovers. And I thought if it's done well, I can, but I don't typically gravitate towards, I don't go into a book looking for that, if that makes sense. But if it's like a sub trope or whatever, basically I hated the hating game, and that kind of ruined enemies to lovers for me.
I gotcha.
I'm honestly here for all of it because I feel like if an author does it right, then you're going to enjoy it regardless of what the trope is. I used to hate love triangles, and then I read a book by Taylor Jenkins Reid where she did a love triangle, and I was like, wow, I love this trope now. So I feel like if an author does the trope justice, then I'm going to enjoy it. And I feel like I like multiple ones because I do get in moods. Like I'll get in a thriller mood and I read a lot of thrillers. I'll get in a poetry mood and I read a lot of poetry. I get in a romance mood and I read a lot of romance. So if I'm reading a lot of romance, I don't want to read the same trope just like over and over and over and over again. Like I don't want to read 5 back-to-back fake dating relationships. I don't want to read 5 back-to-back, billionaire like romance. Like I want to mix it up. So I'm here for all of it, but there's some tropes. Like I haven't read a lot of sports romance. I haven't read any like billionaire guy type things, but I like friends to lovers. I like second chance. I like fake dating. I like the one bet. I'm here for all of it, guys. I love it all.
You're not picky, just not
picky. Just,
love that.
I have to trust in the author. They have to do it right because even from, childhood friends to lovers to childhood friends to lovers, one of those are going to do it right. And one of those are not going to do it right. A lot of people didn't like childhood friends or friends to lovers, but then they read People We Meet on Vacation, which is a friends to lover story. And the author did it right, where she showed the backstory of their actual friendship over 10 years. And people were like, oh, this is really good. Well, yeah, because she did it right. So
nice.
Yeah. I feel like I'm like you, Gwen. I'm like, I'll almost read anything as long as like the author does a good job with it. There are a few things that I don't like to pick up. If it's some kind of like musical romance, like music related, or like a sports romance, I'm like not into that. My favorites though, I think are like Enemies to Lovers, Only One Bed. I actually really like Friends to Lovers. That's kind of like a new favorite one. I don't like childhood friends to lovers though. I like it when they have like a good, like solid friendship before the relationship, but I don't like it when it spans all the way back to like childhood. I also really like the like fantasy tropes where it's like, who did this to you? Like touch her and you die kind of a thing. Like I love that.
yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, I like the touch her and die when it's like the brother and like the brother's friend. I like that.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Nice.
Because my brothers were never like that. My brothers were like, here, you can have her.
I like Friends. I think I used to be like an Enemies to Lovers, but then as I got older, I was like, this is kind of toxic. So I still like it from time to time, but Friends to Lovers is my favorite, whether it's childhood friends or just normal friends. Let's see. I'm trying to think of some of the others. I haven't read that many like One Bed. Let's see. I do like when it's like a taboo type romance.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like the brother's best friend or like
The dad.
I love an age gap.
The dad, yes.
Oh,
whether it's the woman is older or the man is older. I love it.
You know what other one too is? I like alien romance too. I haven't read a ton of it, but I do like it.
Nice. So I was like, I'm here for it.
I
Wasn't
am.
there,
I
like,
liked
Spider romances was that a
Oh
thing?
my god, the spider romances. That was hilarious.
What?
Yeah.
I am not here for it.
Was that like on my Sunday sprints? I can't remember. There was some kind of spider romance.
That is a Kindle Unlimited. I'll tell you that.
Yeah. Sounds
That's
like something you find.
Oh yeah.
Terrifying.
Mhm.
Least favorite is miscommunication. Like I don't mind it as much, but when it's like really stupid, not trying to call out any other books, but like when it's like a really stupid reason to be miscommunicating, absolutely not.
Mhm.
And then I don't mind cheating to an extent, in my opinion.
Right.
But
I like cheating in my thrillers, but not in my romances.
You know? Yeah. Mhm.
that lying and cheating got me all choked up. I'm sorry. Let's see. Forced proximity, best friends, friends to lovers, touch her and die. Nice. Big romance reader.
Oh yay! We made her start reading rom-coms.
Ooh, I do like rom-coms, but I don't like them to be like overly cheesy. So, Gabby is best friend, brother's best friend, friends to lovers, fake dating, forced proximity. Love it all. Give it to her all.
Love it.
But no lying and cheating.
Yeah.
Opposites attract. I kind of feel like this one kind of had that.
Oh, totally.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And hate accidental pregnancy. Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh, I haven't really
What's
read
a book that I would know that has that in there?
Is that is that like a spoiler though? 'Cause I don't think I have any books in mind, but maybe that's a spoiler.
I don't know. Well, if you have one that's not a spoiler, let me know, because I don't.
There was one that I read last year. I think, was it for Romanceathon? I can't remember, or maybe it was the year before, but there was one that I found off TikTok, and the couple had a one
all
night
I'm saying is everybody says that. I've seen that a lot. I don't like accidental pregnancies. I've never read a romance book, and I've probably read like, I don't know, 500 romance books in the last.
Have you read anything by T.L. Swan?
No,
T.L. Swan writes like Kindle Unlimited smut, and I read.
I don't
one.
have Kindle Unlimited. No. So there you go.
Well, I mean,
Anything that's on Kindle Unlimited, I'm not reading it. If it's not traditionally
books are, like,
published, then
You
no.
can buy her books too. I just read Kindle
No,
Unlimited.
I don't have that. So
You can buy them too, but I read one with
No.
that, and it was accidental pregnancy because it was like a one night stand,
yeah,
and then she was working for the guy.
yeah.
Oh yeah, okay.
Her kid's
The
like
one
6
I was
years old.
I've
talking
just
about.
never.
The one I was talking about was a one night stand, and then like it was like the guy was like going off to like Australia or something, and then like so she couldn't track him down, and then like she had a kid, and
Oh, I think I remember you talking about that.
it was like 5 years later, something's wrong with the kid. She
Was
takes.
he like a doctor?
He was the doctor.
See,
and then
I remember.
his own daughter.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's like
Kind
kind
of
of have
cute,
some type
though.
of like disease, and she needs to like know his family history or something.
Yeah,
Yeah.
see, we watched the vlog. We remember.
Dedication. Another accidental pregnancy, the bet trope. That's a good one.
I feel like a lot of romance readers have Kindle Unlimited. I'm just
Yeah.
gonna say that. Not in a bad way. I'm saying I don't, but
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I feel like they do.
There's the Grumpy Sunshine. I do like fake dating.
Ooh, I like Grumpy Sunshine.
I like Grumpy
yes.
Sunshine too.
Here for the spoilers and non-spoilers, but I didn't mean to. Oh, no worries.
It's okay, Elizabeth.
Thanks for being here. What would you say what tropes do you see in X's and O's?
Friends to lovers.
Friends to lovers for sure. What was that one that we just said earlier?
There's
Like, I
like
feel
forced proximity too.
A
Mhm.
little, really? Okay. I'm gonna let y'all have that one, but I don't think so. Like,
I don't
what
think
is
so
forced
either.
proximity?
I don't think
Forced
it's
proximity to me is you are forced to be in the same
I don't think
proximity.
Well, it's like they're
And,
living
like-
in the same. They're like roommates, so they kind of have to
Or
interact.
were they
with each
forced
other.
to be roommates?
But are they forced to be? No.
That's true.
And
You
like
can leave at any
one's
point.
working, one's a nerd. Like you don't even have to be
Mhm.
in the apartment at the same time. So like I
Mhm.
don't consider it, but like
Well, I mean, she did move in and see her roommate with someone over the counter.
she
She
did.
had to move in.
Okay, what about the opening scene though when she's like on the subway?
Mm-hmm.
What did y'all think about that? And that person stole her purse or whatever?
Yeah.
That was
They
terrible.
never rolled
didn't see
back
that
to that. I was
Yeah.
like wanting her to like, I don't know.
Yeah, I didn't see that one coming, honestly.
Well, see, I thought at first he was the one that stole the purse. I was like, wait a minute, what was his name in the back of the book? But it wasn't him. I was like, oh,
Oh yeah, that's what she goes. Oh, I think I
so
met the
weird.
love interest on the subway. I was like, no, Jessie, no.
That kind of would have been clever though. I think it would have
Yeah.
been fun. Add
Yeah.
a little extra spice.
I would also say opposites attract because someone who's kind of like a playboy and then a hopeless romantic,
Yeah,
clean
maybe a
and
little
messy.
yeah.
yeah.
I would also argue for like second chance, like trope as well.
That's true.
Yeah.
Right.
Mhm.
To like
Because
Yeah.
that's her
together your exes.
favorite trope.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
This is my favorite question, but if you had to describe this book in 3 words, what 3 words would you use? And if you had to describe the book in 3 emojis, what emojis would you use?
I have my emojis ready. So I did a little book stack, a heart, and a fire truck.
Nice.
Oh, cute.
That is
Because it's
cute.
like a bookish girl falls in love with the firefighter.
I love that.
I think you
too.
go for it.
So the words that I picked were bookish, quirky, and dramatic.
Yes.
And then my emojis are sorry, give me a second. I cheated and found an emoji online that's like not part of your phone emojis. I did a book stack, the little pink hearts, and then a bag of Cheetos.
Oh, I love it.
What about you, Lena?
I put cheesy, ridiculous, and I honestly can't even read my handwriting on here, but cheesy and ridiculous definitely were two. And then if I can read my own handwriting, I'll come up with the other. But the emojis that I picked were the pink heart with like the little like what's on your
The
name.
sparkles.
Yeah, just because like I don't know, she just seems like a sparkly person. Like I picture her being that like obnoxious nurse that's like super overly happy and has like sparkly sneakers, and you're like, I'm dying, why are you so happy right now? Like that's how I picture her. So I also had like the doctor emoji. And then I had a fire, like the fire.
Nice. Yeah, nice.
Cool. Yeah.
I didn't see my words, but one I would add is funny. Because I did think it was funny. And also, I meant to go back. I'm sorry, but I'm going to go back. Another romance trope, I think that it is slow burn.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Totally.
The slowest. Like,
Not the slowest. Nope. Disagree. I've read slower. I've read a 600-page book that it did not get there until the last page. So,
yeah, that's just
she
not,
knows.
that's not what I expect or want out of a rom-com.
Right,
So
right.
That's,
Yeah.
That definitely
That was a sports romance, though, that I was talking about.
Yeah.
But, yeah, it was slow burn for sure.
Sandra said chips,
Chips,
hot tubs, and The
uh-huh.
Bachelor.
Love it.
I love that she got him into The Bachelor too.
Oh, there's
I know.
another one. What is that one? A steak? An alarm.
Oh.
A piece of meat.
Oh, okay. I was like, steak. I don't remember that. So for my words, I put hysterical because I laughed so hard throughout the book, and it was so cheesy. I guess you could say cheesy is my second word, but it was so cheesy that I was literally laughing out loud. It was so funny. And then the other word I would put was like over the top, I guess you can say. There was another word I had for it, but I can't think of it right now, but another word for like over the top in a way. And then my emojis are not as exciting as Cheetos, but I have a flame book stack and a pencil because there was a list.
Yeah, that's a good
cool.
one.
Yeah, I like that.
Okay, I just want to say this one quote that made me laugh like more than it should have. It says, I'm like an over-enthusiastic dad on a trampoline who jumps a little too far to the left and lands crotch first on the springs. I was dead. I was just, because I could literally picture.
Oh, yeah.
I literally wrote that down.
Cute, bookish,
And
me. It's
Aw.
relatable. And then she put French fries because of the McDonald's.
Oh, yeah.
I did like that.
Mm-hmm.
Very relatable.
Gerald.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
That was just that. Okay. If you woke up on a man and a woman in a hot tub, and it was like a small hot tub, it sounded like I would just not get in.
Yeah.
Ew.
And then you're like, oh, sorry, I'll come back a different time.
Exactly.
Enjoy your night.
He's just
I'll
like
just
climbing
get
on in.
bathtub.
Yeah, no.
I would want to have some fun with them. I would get in there and make it so awkward. Oh, I would have so much fun.
Oh my gosh.
So much fun.
Are there any other books that you would compare this one to? Any that you would recommend if people did not like this book or if they did like this book?
Well, mine are kind of the same. It reminded me, and also if you didn't like this book, still check out these other ones. To All the Boys I Loved Before by Jenny Han and Josh and Hazel's Guide to Not Dating by Christina Lauren.
I love that.
I mean, basically, I said those two. I mean, first of all, To All the Boys I Loved Before is mentioned in this book and the first book quite a bit. But I just think like how she's taught, how Laura Jean is like views her past relationships and stuff like that. And then in Josh and Hazel's Guide to Not Dating, they're friends and they're going on double dates together. And then they end up together, obviously. So,
oh, cute.
I said if you,
Go ahead.
I said if you didn't like this one to try B.K. Borison's books. Not so much because they're super similar, but like just because it's the kind of fun romance that's like light and stuff, but doesn't have all of like as much of the cheesiness or the pop culture references in it. So I would recommend her books. I really like them. But also the first one, Love Light Farms, is Friends to Lovers. But they have a little bit more history and I really liked it. And then I also said to read Set on You because
Yes.
I just liked it a lot more than
Yeah.
this one. So
Not
Agree.
What about you, Lena?
So I didn't have one for like if you didn't like this, then you would like this. But if you did like this, or I guess even if you didn't, I kind of think of it compared to The Flat Share by Beth O'Leary, because
Okay.
in that one you have someone who I think is an overnight nurse, and then somebody who works a day job, and they share like an apartment, and it works because they're never there at the same time. So there's one bed, so it's my favorite trope, but they're never in the bed together because one's working days, one's working nights. And so they get to know each other by like leaving Post-it notes around the apartment, or, you know, just like little things like that. And the one guy is kind of like not really up with the time. So he kind of has to like learn some of those like, you know, pop culture references and stuff. So that kind of brings in that. So that's what I would compare it to. I honestly,
That's a good example, I think.
yeah, that is totally.
but yeah, I don't know. I couldn't think of like another one. Like if you didn't like this, I feel like it'd be kind of similar either way. If you did like it, you would like The Flat Share, and maybe even if you didn't like this, because The Flat Share kind of does some parts of it, I think, a little bit better.
Yeah.
And it's still POV in The Flat Share.
Yep.
Oh, nice. I did not really have anything because I felt like this one, I felt like it had so many different tropes and different like aspects to it that it was kind of hard to find one that's like in the same ball field, I guess you can say. But like I've heard of all of the other ones that y'all have mentioned or read them, and I agree with all those, especially Love Light Farms, because it has that sweetness to it, but not as like over dramatic and cheesy. The Flat Share, and then I haven't read the Guide to Not Dating one, but exactly what you're talking about. Let's see. This is actually book 2 in the Influencer series. Have you read the first book? Do you plan on checking out the first and the second one if you haven't, which is called The Catch?
Yes.
Yes to both.
Yes and yes, because the first book, I feel bad the people that read this one first, because I mean we'll get to that in a minute, but I just really loved that one. I related to that character. I really loved the first book. And I think that even if you didn't enjoy this book, I mean, now if you hated this book, no, do not go into the first book, because the writing and the pacing are the same. It's just different characters. But if like you wanted more romance, or you thought Tara was a little too over the top, pick up the first one. And then obviously I'm going to be reading The Catch. Like I am so excited.
I'm so excited for Mel's story.
Yeah.
Gwen,
Exactly.
is there more smut in Set on You?
Yes, not much, but I think it's
more than this one.
Yeah, I think there is.
And it's early on.
I'm just remembering the one scene, and I was like, oh.
I feel like I forgot so much from that book, even though I loved it. I feel like I need to reread it.
Oh, I would totally reread it because it was just so. I read it like so quick.
Same. So I feel like that's even more. So I need you to fill me in on
Yeah.
what happened. But like ditto everything you said, Gwen. Like I loved Crystal. I related to her character so much more. The main thing that I really loved in it that helped me kind of like get over some of like the cheesiness and pop culture references was that I loved the other themes that were in it so much. Like it's all about like being plus size and fat and like exercise and like doing it because you love to exercise, not because you're trying to lose weight. There's so many great conversations about like being plus size or a bigger person, like on social media and like comments and stuff like that. And also just like body positivity and body neutrality and like health at every size, which is just like stuff that I feel so passionate about. So
yeah,
like,
I feel like just hearing you say that, I think that it tackled like more real world things in the first book, whereas
like
this one was just
bullying and
kind of like a
stuff.
fun. Yeah, it had a lot going on in that first book, and it was
I
done really
needed
well.
some more
Hi,
like
Lauren.
topics in this one. And I felt like that was missing. Like I felt like there was so much more they could have done with like the little girl with the congenital heart defect. Like they could have moved into that and like kind of brought out the emotional side a lot more. And I feel like that was just kind of like glazed over. Like it was kind of part of the plot, but just I felt like she could have done so much more with that to make it more emotional.
They were not expecting that one steamy scene when they hooked up.
I knew it was going to be like that though, because like the first night when she like heard them having sex in the other room, she was like, she's probably just faking it. She's definitely not screaming that loud for him. She probably and so like at that point I knew. I was like, all right, when it happens, it's gonna be good.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
I just didn't realize it was gonna take 300 pages.
That's true.
Yeah, that was one of my
way too
complaints too.
long.
I'm like, let's get to it.
Can we move along here, please?
I have not read anything else by the author, but Gwen has just been preaching it from the rooftops. I went ahead and bought it. So I do plan on reading this. She told me I have to read it before April, before we all get to
I told her, I said, you can't come see me until you read that book.
Does that mean I have to do it too?
Lena, I could never.
Yeah, do plan on reading this, and I guess
Just for that, Gwen, I'm gonna read it.
Yes, see, reverse psychology. I know how to work with Lena.
So funny. But yeah, definitely going to be picking it up, especially for everything that everyone has ever mentioned. Like if I liked this one, I'm going to probably like the other one more just based on what I'm hearing, but I'm excited for it.
And I think even if you aren't curvy or you aren't plus size, it's still worth reading a book like that, because then like me and Summer are here telling you this is great representation.
Yeah.
So like, you know, you'll know
So
how
if
we
you want to
feel.
know what it's like, there you go. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
With this book being number 2 in a series, do you feel like readers should have read this one first, or do you feel like it's good enough to be a standalone or a companion novel? Like, thoughts on that? Whoever wants to go first.
I think it can be a standalone. I think that it's better if you've read the first books. There are enough references. But I think even if you just wanted to read this one and be done with it, it makes enough sense. But I still think you should read Set on You after this one. I would, though, recommend to like read that one first, like Set on You first if you can. But you can still go back and read it and enjoy it like just as much.
I agree. I will say, like, when I first started reading X's and O's, I was like, oh, well, I know how the first one ends, but it's a romance. I mean, we all know.
Shocker.
Okay, so I will say yes, it can stand as a standalone. But one thing that I wish that they would have talked a little bit more about in this one, and I think it would have made a lot more sense. Maybe they mentioned it like once or twice, but I think a big reason why Tara decided to make a list of her exes for this work party is because her grandmother just got remarried, and she did like to someone that she knew from her past. So I feel like, you know, reading the first book, I kind of understood a little bit more why Tara was reaching out to all of her exes. She's like, it worked for my grandmother. Why can't it work for me? Whereas I don't feel like they covered why she was exactly doing it, other than she just wanted to have a date for that work function. So I think reading it first and then second, it makes a little bit more sense, but
I agree with
remember
that.
them mentioning that about like her grandmother and everything, and like she had her on like an episode of her like channel or whatever. But yeah, that does make more sense that it went more into that in the first book.
Yeah.
Can I say something really quick about the channel thing?
Yeah.
It basically just says that she's an Instagrammer and a TikToker, but she starts everything like her episodes with welcome back to my channel. I'm like, it's not a channel unless you have a YouTube channel.
Right.
It's
a YouTube channel.
Yeah, it was
She's always live. So yeah, so it's like it's more like Instagram live, right? Because every time she does it, she always calls them like on my lives.
So we wouldn't go live on Instagram and say welcome back to my channel.
No, you say, hey, welcome to my live.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yes.
That bugged me so bad.
Well, the part that I thought was strange, like along those same lines, is that she was live, but everything she said like seemed very scripted. Like you could tell that she like wrote it out and like planned what she was gonna say. So like those two things, like to me, if you're gonna go live, like aren't you just gonna like ad lib and just like talk?
Yeah.
I mean, I can see scripting some things, but like, not like, and even in the first book, I mean, she would say these certain things and you're thinking like, I don't know, this is too well thought out.
I'm
not sure. Oh
yeah. Did I hear Siri talking? Let's see. People say it's good as a standalone. And picking up the third. This one's interesting. She was saying like no one would ever do that in real life, but after that, I started enjoying it. It started off as a 2, ended as a 4.
Oh,
So I thought that was interesting.
yeah.
And then also would prefer to read in order, but no worries.
Honestly, I thought like I just couldn't get over the whole time, like when she was meeting up with all of these exes. Like I was like, why do you want to see these people? Like I don't want to see those motherfuckers again. Like bye.
No, like for real.
Like it was nice while it lasted. Like there's one that I like wouldn't mind if I like ran into on the street, but I would never choose to just hang out with them.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. I can maybe understand if she went back to her most recent ex because it's her recent ex, but
Or
yeah,
like
the other one's
the one that shot away or whatever. Like that, I could. Like I kind of wish that it had been less because I kind of wanted to get to know the exes a little bit more.
Yeah.
I wish that the list had been smaller and we had more time with each ex.
Yeah, I agree.
Honestly, I'm glad we didn't get very much time with them because I was just like, let's move it along. I'm just ready to get to like the
that's
real
what made it slow.
I was
we
so
know you're
glad.
not ending up with any of these guys.
No, and I was glad like that we didn't spend so much time getting to know these people because I'm like, I don't care about any of them.
Yeah.
So I was
I'm
glad
not
it
gonna
was kind of quick.
you, so let's move along.
Yes.
Yeah, that's a good point because that was one of the issues I had with It Starts With Us. The first one. Yeah, It Starts With Us, right? That's the first one? No, It Ends With Us. It Ends With Us is the first one. And then it starts with, very confusing. That was one of my problems with that is that we spent half the book getting to know a person that we weren't supposed to like in the end. And that was one of my problems with that book. And so I guess you're right.
I love that.
Does make sense. That does make sense that like, why would we get to know these people knowing that they're not who she's with in the end?
Yeah. Or if they wanted to like shift to like a love triangle where she has these forbidden feelings with her roommate, but there is one guy from the list that's like a good contender, which I mean there was, but like got to know that person a little bit more.
Like talk about self-sabotage. That's a trope I don't like. Self-sabotage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very true. So I thought this would be a really fun question. If you could cast any of the characters to be in a movie, like who would you pick for each person as an actor or an actress?
I think for Tara, I think the actress from To All the Boys I Loved Before would be really good as Tara.
Oh, yeah.
Her name's like Lana Condor, I think, or something like that. Yeah. I think she would be good for Tara. And for Crystal, I was picturing Tina from Glee.
Oh
my gosh, cute.
Yes.
Yeah.
As her. Like, I don't know why, but the guys, I have no idea. But
what about you?
I have some that I feel good about them. I usually have a hard time like visualizing characters and like fan casting things, but I like these ones. So for Tara, I also said Lana Condor.
Yay.
And then I also said Constance Wu. This is her.
Yeah.
I think she's from Crazy Rich Asians, but I think she's beautiful, and I just think she looks like she could be like a fun, quirky, bubbly character. For Crystal, this girl is in a bikini, so I don't want to like get this
You'll be fine.
demonetized or something. She's an Asian plus size model, and she I like people like when I fan cast things, I don't want really popular, well-known actors, which is one of the things that I have a hard time with because she kept in Sad on You and this book, she kept like comparing them like he looked like Chris Hemsworth, and I'm like, don't tell me that. I don't want to know that. I don't want to be thinking about like
I
really
love
popular.
her.
Yeah, she's so beautiful. Her name is Yumi New. Sorry. It says she's the first Asian plus size model on Sports Illustrated, and she's also the niece of oh my gosh, he's a DJ, and I am forgetting his name. But I think he lives in Vegas, and he's a DJ. But anyway, so she has kind of like some famous.
I love her for Crystal.
Yeah, and I feel like I hope this won't be like demonetized. I just feel like her body type is like what I pictured. Like I
mean, with the model and then like being like plus, it like fits. It works.
And then I don't know why. I know I said I don't like picturing famous people. I just was picturing Theo James for some reason as Trevor, but it might be because I was watching White Lotus season 2 while I was reading it. So I don't know. I can take him or leave him.
Yeah, I could. That's a good casting.
Thank you.
What about you, Lena?
All right, so I just did the main two. I couldn't think of anybody for Crystal, and like honestly, I had a hard time. Like, you know, sometimes when you read a character, you like create what you think they look like in your head. I had a hard time like solidifying her in my head because I feel like I didn't get enough time with her. So I feel like if I read when I read Set on You, I will have like more of an idea of like in my head what she looks like, if that makes sense. So I just couldn't think of anybody. But for Tara, I had Brenda Song. Who's
Oh, I like that.
Yeah, actors from back in the day, like Zach and Cody and all of that. So that's who I had, just because she's so like bubbly and like over the top. And then this one, hear me out. Luke Mitchell. He was on Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. and he's been on like a couple of other things. He is a Australian actor, but I totally could see him. I don't know if you can see that very well.
I can't see his face. Okay,
Yeah.
wait.
His hair looks good.
I need to make it.
Yeah.
Let's see if did that help at all? There we go.
Yes. Okay.
Oh, he's cute. Yeah.
Yeah, like I don't know. To me, he just gives like firefighter that's like sweet, but like looks really hard on the outside, but not like meathead. Like I never pictured Trevor as like the meathead guy.
Right.
Yeah.
But he has to have the tattoos.
Right. Yes.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Yes.
Nice.
That was one of my favorite parts of the book, honestly. Was
For real though.
honestly, I could have had more chapters just talking about it.
Mm-hmm.
For me, I did not do Crystal because I have not read Set on You first, but I will take y'all's recommendations in consideration. But I also thought of Constance Wu to play Tara. I thought she would be perfect. And then for Trevor, okay, hear me out. I was thinking, oh my gosh, I can't even remember his name, but he plays Stefan from The Vampire Diaries, like looks wise, but with the personality of Damon. So Ian Summer Holden.
Oh.
I mean, he could look like him too, regardless, but I don't know.
Okay, maybe.
I felt like he
I could
had
see
that like personality of him, but he looked like the guy that plays Stefan.
It's Paul Wesley.
Wesley, yeah.
Yeah. It's like Stefan when he turns his humanity off a little bit.
Yes. But then there's that goofy side of Damon as well.
Yes. I could see that.
Let's see. Gabby said the girl from Emily in Paris who plays Mindy, Ashley Park, I think is her name.
Oh.
Okay, I can see that.
I have
I
not
only watched
watched
like the first episode of that, but I think she's in it, so I think I know who that is.
Also another Luke Mitchell. Nice. Tara reminds me of Gigi from the movie He's Not That Into You.
Oh, I'm gonna look that up because I can't picture it.
I know I've seen that movie, but I'm having a really hard time.
That's what I'm saying.
Like it's been a while since I've seen that. Okay, and then I thought this would be a fun question before we get into more spoilers, but your favorite love song and your favorite breakup song.
I am so ready. I'm here for this.
Okay, here's
They're all Taylor Swift songs. Oh,
Okay.
yeah. Okay, so for love songs, I have Sweet Nothing. It's from Midnight's. I got it.
Shocking.
And also Invisible String from Folklore because it's like just the cutest love song. And it was like on my wedding playlist and stuff because it came out the same year that I got married. So I just have very like fond, like romantic memories towards it. And then my favorite breakup song is Maroon on Midnight's. Oh my God. That is the most superior song ever.
I'm getting
obsessed with it.
Swiftie vibes from you.
Are you? Oh yeah, if you guys listen, I know you did your reaction. If you want a whole entire Taylor Swift breakdown education,
we're still doing Reputation, me and you.
oh yeah, oh 100%.
We are.
I went to go visit my parents for Thanksgiving, and I literally gave them a 3-hour-long Taylor Swift education.
Were they into it or what?
Oh, they were. I kept telling them, I'm like, I can stop. They're like, no, keep going. So I can go on forever.
I just picture like a PowerPoint with your aesthetic and like doodles.
I'll make one for Reputation.
Orange.
You know what Kanye
Please make the
West
slides
did?
orange. The slides have to be orange.
Oh my,
Absolutely
All
not.
orange, no pink.
oh my gosh.
Oh my goodness.
I'll let you have black when you get to Reputation.
Okay.
Okay, so my love song is All of Me by John Legend.
Oh.
Yeah.
Love that one. Saw him play it live. Pretty awesome. And then a good breakup song is Back to Black by Amy Winehouse.
Mm.
Oh,
Mm-hmm.
that's a good
Oh
one.
yeah. Oh yeah.
I had for my favorite love song, I Can't Help Falling in Love with You or whatever, but not the Elvis Presley version, the version from the movie Crazy Rich Asians with like the women singing it.
Love that.
That if I were to ever get married, which is a big if, that would be played at my wedding. And then my favorite breakup song is called T-Shirt by Chantel. It's like an old school, it's from like 2002 or something. And it's literally like they broke up and she's still wearing his T-shirt and she's talking about like he's moved on, but like I still have his T-shirt and I'm just going to curl up with your T-shirt. And it's so good. And it's so old, but I still listen to it like every day.
My favorites are like honestly, these two songs was like neck and neck for me and Justin's like wedding song. But we chose Guardian Angel by Red Jumpsuit Apparatus.
Oh, that's a good
We
one.
did the piano version.
Mm.
The one that almost got picked was it's by Stained, Tangled or Tangled Up in You.
Yeah.
So good. And then as cringy it is, I would say Since You've Been Gone by Kelly Clarkson.
A
It just
classic.
slaps.
Yes, I agree. Good
And
one.
then anything written by Taylor Swift, obviously. So
Obviously. That's a given.
yeah. I was gonna say We Are Never Getting Back Together, but I feel like that's just not it's just not the breakup song. So but we have another one that says Iconic, or I Love It by Iconic. Excuse me. Be Quiet and Drive. Nice.
I know, right?
Happily Married, but I will play some revenge music. So
Oh, literally.
Yes.
I'm like, have you seen the memes on TikTok about like Taylor Swift's new album? I'm like happily married, but like they're sitting in the shower, like sobbing to Maroon
I've
or
seen
something.
them with Flowers by Miley Cyrus. It's like me happily married, knowing I'm going to get cuddles from the husband, but I can buy my own flowers.
Exactly.
Literally.
100%.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, Since You've Been Gone. Such a good one.
It is.
All right, we will move into the spoiler section. So if you don't want to be spoiled, here's your final warning. Thanks for stopping by. It's been real.
It's been real.
But in the beginning, the books mentioned that classic romantic comedy style meet cutes are dead. Do you agree with this? And do you think the internet has made it harder or easier to date? Oh, before we answer, I do want to say that most of these questions I got at the back of the book because there is a book discussion like section back
I
here.
love that.
So utilizing the book.
I said that I think that like in a lot of ways it's made dating and meeting people like more accessible and like easier, and you'd meet people you otherwise wouldn't. But I think it's also made a lot of more like problems because like there's new etiquette you have to learn. You're meeting strangers. Like it could be more dangerous potentially. Also, it's just like some people aren't even on the apps for the right reasons. You have to know which app is for what thing. I'm getting all this info from my brother who's like dating. But here's the thing. I still think that like meet cutes happen because my brother, he lives a little bit away from me and stuff, but he's a firefighter, which was so funny. Like I just kept thinking of him like with the firefighter stuff and like comparing like, is this right from what he's told me about firefighter life? But he has been like on every dating app and he was getting so sick of it. And then he ended up meeting a nurse in one of the hospitals that he was dropping off a patient to. And like, they're kind of like going on dates and stuff right now. So I'm like, meet cutes still happen. Like,
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, I think that it kind of opens up. It's like the world is your oyster with online dating. And of course, I met my husband online. So, I mean, I, definitely recommend. But I agree with what you said. I feel like there's some people that are getting on apps just for like a hookup reason rather than a relationship. And if you're going on there for a relationship, so I think you just need to be like open and honest what you're looking for and not like settle.
I agree.
Right.
Yeah, I don't know. I like to think that meet cute still happen, but I personally have never had one.
Mhm.
But I am a friends first person. Everybody that I have dated, I have first been friends with, sometimes for a long time. So I have never, like, I can't even fathom the idea of a meet cute and like meeting somebody just like randomly on the street, like having a meet cute and then starting to date them, just because I like to have that like background knowledge of like, can I be friends with you? 'Cause if I can't be friends with you, how can I be in a relationship with you? You know, so like that's just me personally, but I definitely love the idea of meet cutes, and I definitely have seen my friends have like meet cutes. Like I have one friend, my one friend met her husband in the park walking their dogs, you know, so like it does still happen. I just don't think that that's how I would want to meet somebody.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, Gabby saying she met her significant other in kindergarten. That's cute. That's very cute.
Soulmates. So as an avid thriller reader, I think it's easier to get murdered online.
Oh, 100%.
Yes.
Yeah. But also sort of met my husband online in a way. Long story short, we went to the same high school together. He was popular. I was not. He was good looking. I just adored him from afar. Didn't speak to him. But then after high school, he sent me a friend request. And me being the person, I'm like, okay, I accept, but here's a long message. Like, hello, how are you? Because I had just gotten out of a relationship. I was like, I'm done dating. And then that day, literally after I got off work, I was like, okay, I think I'm going to try dating. And then my high school crush messaged me. I was like, okay, well, here's my opportunity. But I later found out 2 months after we were dating, his mother made him message me.
I was about to say, didn't his mom have something to do with that?
His mom was my cheerleading coach, and she made him take me out on a date. And I guess I just won him over. So
Cute.
That's so cute.
So it's disgusting, but whatever.
No, we're all here for that.
Okay. So for Tara, she loves romance tropes and meet cutes. Does anyone have any stories about how they met their person? I already said mine.
I want to hear Lena's.
Yes.
It's not fun.
It's not fun. Oh no.
I mean, it's just like whatever. No, I met him at work, and I actually knew him before I started working for my company because he was actually dating my friend.
Oh my gosh.
So my friend was like, hey, there's an opening like in my company or whatever, you should apply. And so I applied, and I was like, can I talk to some other of your friends that work there? And so we all met up for sushi, and he was late, and he like walked in and was all like, I don't even care, like I'm just here, whatever, like acted like he just did not want to be there or whatever. And because he wanted nothing to do with me, I was like, I have to have you. So he was dating my friend, so obviously like that was fine. And then like that didn't work out. They split very amicably, and she was like, you know, we'd be really good together. And I was like, no, that's ridiculous. And then one day we decided to have our dogs have a play date.
Aww.
And then that was
cute.
the end of that.
All.
Yeah, so I mean, really, I met him at work, but it was actually kind of funny because we didn't tell anybody at work that we were dating for like, I'm talking like years. And like,
did anybody know once you told them?
A couple people knew, and people like figured it out. We weren't like actively hiding it. We just weren't, you know, we're like, well, it's our business, you know, we don't need to. We need to see work.
Yeah.
And some people were like, duh, and then other people were like, wait, what? But yeah, it's not really super interesting, but
I think it is. I think that's cute.
I do too.
Gwen, what's yours? Like, I know it's online, but
so me and my husband used to play this game. We still kind of do sometimes. It's called EverQuest 2, and it's an online massive, you know, role-playing game and stuff like that. And so we both played the game for several years together. I was dating someone else. He was dating someone else. So when we played, we were in a guild together where there were like 24 other people, you know, so we would all go out and attack the monsters together. But we were on headsets and we would talk, and it was just totally platonic for 5 years. And then until one night it wasn't. Oh yeah. So one night he was like, I should take you out on a date. And I was like, what? Okay. Cause I was broken up, but he didn't necessarily know that. And I didn't know he had broken up, you know? And yeah, so we were like, okay, let's do it. Where do we live? So he lived in Virginia and I lived in Maryland, and he drove up to Maryland and picked me up after work, and we had like a little weekend together. And then I went back to work the next day, and then he called and he was like, this really sucks that we're apart. And I was like, yeah, it really does. And he's like, well, what if you come visit me? And I was like, when? And he was like, tomorrow. And I was like, okay. So he gave me a train ticket, and I got on a train and came up here, and then I just never left.
That is literally needs to be a book. Are you kidding me? When you said I met him online, I was like, oh, probably like Tinder or like something. Not playing games online. That is literally the cutest thing I've ever heard. How have I not heard this by now?
I know.
Gwen, I love this.
Was this after you were in the military?
Yeah.
After? Okay.
I just love that for you so much. I can't even get over it.
Okay, now it's your turn.
Mine is kind of funny because I met my husband through my brother. It's going to get really complicated. So my brother is 2 years younger than me, and he played baseball in high school, and he had a best friend on the baseball team, and my husband is his friend from baseball's younger brother. But they were all friends. So basically I started dating my brother's friend. I had to keep it a secret for a minute because he would not have been happy about it. And then like one day when we decided, like me and Travis, like that we wanted to be official, I was like, okay, I'm going to go ask my brother if we can date each other. It was really scary, but it's worked out really great though, because like his parents and my parents, because of our siblings playing sports together, our parents already knew and loved each other. Like they were friends, like baseball friends and stuff. And then our families already, so it's like my brother and his brother, I don't know. It's worked out really well. So
no wonder you like that trope.
No wonder you like that trope. Yes, it's so cute.
Yeah,
That's so cute.
Mm-hmm. It was fun.
I've already spilt the beans on mine, so.
I think I love hearing those stories because it's just
too.
really, it's like backstory to people, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It's funny because when Justin and I were dating, he was like, I'm not looking for anything serious. I was like, I'm just here for the free meal. Like,
Jesse's like, I'll remember the food, y'all.
but I was like deeply like, oh, what if he doesn't like me? So then I went to Florida to visit a friend and help her move back to Virginia. And the whole time I was gone, he was like totally missing me. And then he's like, I need to ask you a question.
That's right, Jessie.
I was like, if you're asking me the question, you can wait till I'm in the same state and you can ask me face to face.
I love it.
Yes.
He's like, well, that's not for 4 more days. I said,
You're like, well, I'm worth waiting for.
I love it so much.
I was like, sorry. No.
That's just the rules. I don't make them. Like.
Yeah, I'm sorry. You can ask me face to face. Don't be a coward.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Let's see. Many of Tara's ex-boyfriends refer to her as the crazy ex-girlfriend, which is a term that's often used against women. Why do you think the term crazy is used as a weapon against women in particular? And do you feel like Tara fits the stereotype?
Because it's blame shifting. Because if a man just blames the woman on being crazy, then it's never their fault. Because I can't tell you how many men I have heard say that their ex is crazy. And I'm like, there's no way all of these women are crazy.
Yep.
Like that can't be the common denominator here. The common denominator has to be you, sir. Not all of these women that you're claiming are crazy. I highly doubt that.
I think it's just them being lazy because they don't know how to explain like all the emotions and feelings that women have. And because they don't understand it, that's crazy to them.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? They're like, I don't understand it. She's crazy.
I think it's also a control tactic too, a little bit.
Yeah.
Like, you're just crazy. Like, I don't know.
And I think to an extent, it's like they think that once, I don't know. So I feel like sometimes men think that like, oh, once we're in a relationship, she'll be different. But like, she is very much like unapologetically her, like from the get-go, like first date, she's like, what are we naming our kids? Like she's not at all trying to hide that. And I think that men are just like, they think it's cute and they're like, oh, that'll go away when we start dating. But it's like, she never tried to hide it.
Yeah. Basically, they're not equipped to handle her personality. So they consider her the crazy one.
Yeah. And I thought it was really cute when like, I forgot what the verbiage was, but it was like like her being like the crazy ex-girlfriend, and Trevor's like, no, I like you the way you are.
Yeah.
Like, she's like,
Yes.
so accepting.
Yeah, I love that too.
No, I loved that.
I think
I
crazy
mean-
is such a cop out.
Yeah.
Yeah, 100%.
I'm bad because I use the word crazy a lot to like describe things like that was crazy, and I'm trying not to use it as much. But like,
Yeah.
I don't think that she's a crazy person. I think she's just like a really passionate person.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And she is not afraid to like just be herself.
Emotional, irrational, chaotic, energy.
Yeah.
Yes. Crazy.
Yeah.
No.
Golden retriever energy.
Oh,
To the
yeah.
max.
Yeah.
And I think like most women, like we're emotional. Most of us are like really emotional, and so like I think if you're able to like express that, I think it's a good thing. I think some people don't know how to express it the right way, and that can come off as kind of like crazy, just because maybe you don't have someone that's like able to work through that with you and like I don't know, like know what you're saying or what you're feeling. But I don't know. I don't think she's crazy though.
I like what, she said. She fell hard and fast.
And knows what she wants and can see way ahead in the future. And the
guys got scared. That's what I'm
Mhm.
saying. They couldn't handle her. They weren't in the same spot that she was. So they were like, oh, that's crazy.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And going back to the first question about like dating being easier online, I think it's easier to find not the one, just a one. You know what I mean? Like it's easier to get like a hookup or like nothing serious type of thing. So
Well, and I feel like online, people look for people that are like them. They look for people that have similar interests to them. And, while like definitely, that's important, like the opposites attracting is a real thing too. It's like I feel like I wouldn't want somebody who's exactly like, oh my God, could you handle a male version of Lena? No, I don't think anybody can handle that. I do not want that. I need somebody who is my opposite to like counterbalance me. And I feel like that's sometimes what people go into like
I'm too stressful. If me and Daniel were both like me, it would be like World War III up in here, y'all. We could not. He is my Zen master, and that is how I am able to function.
Yeah, so it's like knowing what you want, and I feel like she was looking for her in men, and men were looking for them in her, and like she needs a counterbalance. She's a lot. She is a lot, and she needs a counterbalance.
Yeah, I agree.
This question was actually submitted by Gabby from Gabbing About Books. But was there any ex that was on the list that you were rooting for, and which one was your least favorite?
I'm never rooting for an ex. To be completely honest, they're exes for a reason. However, if you made me choose one, number one, I'm going to go with Daniel because Daniel. But I also thought he was like the least cringy of the whole bunch. He was like the first one on the list, but the last one that she like met up with. And he was totally cool just to go to her work function as like a friend. She said, this is not romantic at all between me and you. I just kind of wanted like a +1 to this thing. And he was cool with it.
But he was going to try a little something. He was.
I'm not gonna go there. Maybe he was a nice guy. I'm not gonna infer right there. Exes are exes for a reason.
Yep. Yep. That's why I don't like the second chance romance. Like it's not, a break is not what's going to fix it. It didn't work to begin with. So that's, just leave well enough alone. But with Daniel, I think I would have liked Daniel more if she didn't go about it a certain way. I feel like the way she did that was like, that was shady, girl. Like you are self-sabotaging. That is shady. And I feel like that like ruined Daniel for me because of her actions.
Does she almost settle for these terrible men that didn't treat her right, but she thought they were amazing? Yeah, I agree.
I feel like she just wanted love so much. She's like, I just want something to work so bad.
Yeah. I was hoping Seth would not come back in the picture.
That is my least favorite. Seth is a douchebag. Absolutely not. Stab him in the eye. Move on about your business. Like, absolutely not. He's the one that kept calling her crazy. And he was just being like, it's almost like he really did want to get back with her. Yeah. And I was just like, ew, no. Ew, ew,
no, the one that was like shaming her romance books.
He was the doctor, the big fancy doctor. And the one that she was engaged to.
And she proposed to him, and then he just like didn't do anything. And it's like he basically
treated her like crap the whole time.
Which is horrible. Yeah. And it made me sad for her because I feel like she was getting the bare minimum from some of these guys, and she thought that was great. That made me sad for her that was the expectation, is the bare minimum. And she wasn't like looking for something more than the bare minimum.
Super douche stuff.
Yeah, literally.
Yeah.
Super douche.
And it's like with Seth, yeah, I agree. I feel like he almost was trying to get back her, but it's like when you're in 4th grade and like a boy likes you, so he like throws rocks at you.
Yeah.
You know, like like why are we still doing this?
Yeah.
Mhm.
And I felt like she was almost like morphing her personality to how they were in the past. And I don't like that. I don't like people having to change who they are to be with somebody. So that's a no for me.
It's almost
Right.
kind of like Runaway Bride, like where like everything about her is like what her exes liked, you know? But
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, and like, you know, some of these people like Daniel, she hasn't seen since like high school. And so like I wouldn't want somebody to be the exact same person now that they were in
Right.
high school. Like that's terrifying. Like, no, I
Yeah.
hope nobody's the way they were in high school. You know, so it's like she had this, like they were frozen in her mind of the way she knew them. But
Mhm.
the expectation would be that hopefully they're a different person now.
Yeah, exactly. And I think because she liked that second chance trope so much.
She was
and-
trying to make it work.
Yeah.
yeah. And
Yes.
no, it just
Trying so
didn't
hard.
work.
Mhm.
Not in this way, honey. No,
Yeah.
no.
Let's do
Honestly,
friends colors.
The Segway dude though, like I mean, he wasn't bad. Like he was probably the one that I hated the least.
Look at Summer's face.
No.
Absolutely not.
Absolutely the
You're
F
not down for like a man bun and a Segway and some convincing.
I mean,
listen.
man bun, yes. Segway, no.
He probably would, if there wasn't like a no shirt, no shoes, no business kind of thing, he would be doing that. I can't.
He's environmentally conscious.
I mean, I love that.
limiting his carbon footprint.
Absolutely
Was this the
not.
guy that traveled and she didn't
Yes,
like
he's the one that wears the the biodegradable deodorant. And he still stinks. I'm like, no, no,
fact
I
that she was
cannot.
The fact she was like, I don't want to travel, and then he's like, yeah, we should do this. She's like, yeah, let's go on this trip.
I
What are you
know.
doing?
Absolutely. Yes. Yes.
And the fact that Trevor was like, what are you doing? I was like,
Yeah.
yeah, listen to him.
Mhm.
I know. I feel like she would just meet up with these guys and then like black out. And
But
like
it's
say,
almost like she
Yeah.
knew she was going to do that because she made Trevor come.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I was like, she knew
Yeah.
she was going to slip. So,
Mhm.
And I loved when she met at the Italian restaurant and the guy never showed up. And he
That
just
was my
swooped in.
I literally thought that I literally thought like Trevor was on the phone, like, has your date showed up yet? And he's like waiting outside the restaurant and just like
No.
walk in.
For real, I loved that scene. Mhm.
Yeah, that was
So cute.
So for how do you think Trevor's childhood experiences and his family situation impacted the way he views love and relationships?
Go for it, Lena.
So, honestly, I thought that we were gonna find out, and this is the thriller reader in me. I thought we were gonna find out that Trevor is like secretly rich or like gonna inherit all this money. I don't know why I like had that in the back of my brain. I think I was making too much out of it. But I expected it to be like, oh, there's all this like money sitting in my family, and like the brother was like whatever. I don't know, but I feel like I love that Trevor took care of his brother's child and his brother's like baby mama and everything, and was doing like the tough love thing with his brother. Like, I'm not just giving him a pass. Like, this is not okay. It's not okay that he's doing this. Because I feel like sometimes like the deadbeat dad just kind of gets a pass. And I like that Trevor was like, no, he's not just getting a pass. Like, this is not okay. We're working on it and stuff like that. And I loved the like having his niece in there. Like I said earlier, I wish they did more. Yeah, plus the mom dying. And I just feel like I felt like Trevor values people and relationships, whatever that may be. And I feel like Trevor, just because of like his trauma, just didn't know what that looked like, but he valued it in his own way. He just didn't know how to like outwardly explain or outwardly say, I value you as a person. I value this relationship. And he was almost like showing it with his actions with like his niece and things like that.
Yeah, even with the people that he was, supposedly like having a one night stand with or whatever, he was very upfront about it. He wasn't like leading them on. They knew that it was like a one-time thing, and that was it. I think as long as you're open, because like even if I don't agree with it, like not everybody is going to view love or relationships or sex or intimacy how I view it, or how Summer views it, or how so as long as the people involved are okay with it, like I'm fine with it. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like he was very upfront. So what more can you ask for,
And then freaking Tara had to feed the one Pop-Tarts. And
I know.
be best
He was
friends.
like, what are you doing?
Right, yeah, he was ruining
I
that.
love that. She's like, I borrowed a top from her to go on this date. And I'm like, this is great. I love what Julie said.
Yeah.
It's afraid of losing the ones that
at
he
a
loves,
distance.
and yeah,
Aw.
kind of self-sabotaging himself a little bit because he didn't want to lose people.
Yeah.
Right, yeah. Yeah. Why try if you're just gonna lose people? I might as well just
Yeah.
try and just be by myself. Yeah.
Mhm. Yeah.
I think
Let's see.
sorry, one more thing, Jessie. I think he was also worried that he was going to become his brother and become his dad. And I think he was afraid of that too. Like I think he knew I can be good at relationships, but I think he was worried, like, am I going to become like my brother or like my dad?
Yeah.
Yes, who was actively working to make sure that didn't happen.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
I was also kind of hoping that there would be like some kind of like, I don't know, like the brother showing up like at the birthday party, or
Maybe that's book 3.
maybe it is.
Yeah,
That's very true. I was hoping there would be
Series, book 3.
some resolution between him and either his dad or his brother or something like that. But
Sometimes I think that brings more drama than it's worth, though. We're here for the romance.
Yeah, that's kind of how I felt. I was glad that he was just kind of out of it, and we got to have. I didn't even feel like we had enough time, like we were saying, with the baby mama and the little girl, the niece.
Mhm.
Like I felt like if the ex would come into the story, it would have just taken up more time that could have been spent on
you're right.
that.
Yeah,
But-
that makes sense. So Tara's ex believes that reading romance has given her an unrealistic expectation when it comes to love. Do you agree that books and movies give people unrealistic expectations? Why or why not?
I think yes and no.
Yeah, same. I literally was going to say the same thing.
I
Yes
think
and
that
no.
if you don't have those healthy boundaries with yourself to be able to be like, I really like this in this movie, but I can't have that expectation in my own relationship. You have to have that. And I have a hard time with that sometimes.
I do too.
Like, reading romance, it like really, I'll kind of like get a little bit depressed sometimes because
Yeah, like-
why don't I have that? But then it's like, no, I have all of these other things in my relationship that this relationship, it's fake in the first place. They don't have what I have too. So I'm just really bad at comparing myself. And sometimes I do get those like unrealistic expectations, but I've just learned that I have to like set boundaries when I read things or watch things, you know?
100% yes. Exactly what you said.
Yep, I agree.
Yeah, I agree. Because like these wonderful Hallmark riding off into the sunset, like, yeah, that's great. But it's also unrealistic sometimes. But it's nice to dream about, but like also to not have those expectations.
I mean, just like, let's take this book, for instance. Like, she's a nurse and he's a firefighter, but like, how much were they actually at work? Like, my husband literally is at work from this hour to this hour, Monday through Friday.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, like, show me a movie like that. There are none. So,
well,
you
my
know.
brother is literally a firefighter and he's dating a nurse, and she's also going to like, well, she's like going to nursing school too at the same time, something like that. They never see each other. It's hard for them. They go like 2 weeks in between having a date. So I'm like, this circumstance is not realistic.
Right.
So you just have to know in your head that it's not all sunshine and all that kind of stuff.
Rainbows, yeah.
Right. Yeah. Well, and you know, if romance books were like, honestly, the things that I love about relationships are like when we get to the point where it's like, I can sit on the couch with you and be like talking to my book friends and you're over there and it's like we're spending time together, you know, like the like that comfortability that's not like, you know, you're not settling, it's just comfortable and you enjoy it and it works and it flows.
Yeah.
Nobody wants to read a book about that. You know, nobody wants to read a book about us sitting on separate couches.
Exactly.
You can't just like have grand gestures be your whole relationship.
Right.
It's gonna be but in a book it has to be just like grand gesture, big dates. But I'm with you, Lena. I'm like, my favorite thing is like just chilling and having comfortable silence and like, you know, yeah,
exactly, because it's hard to get to that point. But if you have 300 pages of that, nobody would read it.
I love that.
Okay, final thoughts. What were your final thoughts? What was your rating? What did everyone think? Like, rating books, why? Anything you want to share that you think was important to mention?
Who wants to go first?
Lena.
I'll go first.
Okay, yay, Jessie.
I started this book and I ended this book the entire time thinking it was a 4-star. Never got those 5-star feelings, but never, like, I loved it. It made me laugh. It's something I would recommend. It makes me want to pick up the other books in the series, obviously, but I loved it. Gave it 5 stars. I laughed so much with it. I think the main reason why I did not give it a 5-star is I was not a fan of the list and tracking down these horrible people. I feel like Lena said, if the list was shorter and got less X time and more sexy Trevor Firefire hot tub Cheeto passing time, I would have loved it more. But that's just me.
Mm-hmm.
You also didn't like the very, very ending, right?
Okay, yes. Let me get to that. I always don't like the very ending. So I was telling Gwen
The over topness of it.
Yes. So the very end, the last chapter, she's signing off, or she's like giving an update, and it says Trevor appears in the frame. He plants a kiss on Tara's temple and pieces out. I thought that would have been so cute and perfect to end it right there. But no, we get a freaking epilogue. And it's 1 year later. It's Valentine's Day. He does a gesture. There's a ring. There's a proposal. There's a lot of talking in between. Will you marry me? And the words yes. I'm just like, I think it would have been perfect if he planted a kiss on her, turned off the camera, and that would have been the end.
And you know what, Jessie? He didn't give her a dog with the ring too. So
listen,
Fail.
I did not plan my own proposal. Okay,
if you're not gonna bring a dog, don't bother.
Agreed. Maybe not throw an engagement party. So a little context behind that. When Justin and I were dating, I had strict rules if we ever got married, and he followed all of them except one. He proposed a month too early. But one of my rules, we had to live together. We moved in and was living together for 1 month, and we were talking about getting a dog. Nothing soon. So he goes and plays golf. I'm doing my own thing. And then he's like, hey, we're having like a bonfire. Come over to our friend's house. Okay. So I get there and he's holding this dog. And I'm like, where the hell did this dog come from? So finally it clicks. I was like, oh my God, he got me a dog. Oh my gosh. Like, this is crazy. So I go over there and he's like, yeah, I've already named the dog. Check out the name tag. And the dog tag said Jessie. So me being dumb, I was like, you named the dog after me? And he's like, no, it's on the other side. And the whole time he's down on like one knee.
It's chaotic. He has a video of it. It's
I've seen the
chaotic.
video.
I want to see
The
it.
dog is jumping. He's trying to hold the dog.
Yeah, the dog is just like, it's Ovi. He's just like going and Justin's got like the box like in his little shirt pocket. And he's like, can you hurry up? And I was like, I can't get the dog to stop. And finally he took it off and I was like, it said, will you marry me? And then I was like, what? And then I noticed there's like 50 people there. He threw an engagement party. And so I'm just like,
That's bold, though. That's bold.
Wow,
Party?
yeah.
What if he said no?
yeah. And then he asked
no,
me,
that's
and
good.
I was like, yeah, I guess.
She was like, we had another month to wait, remember?
Come back.
I was just like, what is happening? And so like after the camera, he's like, I thought you were going to like ugly cry. And that's what I was aiming for. I was like, you probably should not have shocked me in front of all friends and family, plus a dog, plus a diamond. It was a lot.
That is kind of overwhelming. Yeah.
Yeah. I just like froze and panicked. So,
But
yeah.
I love it because if you follow her, like she'll share it every Valentine's Day or every like time, like her anniversary and stuff. So it's so cute.
I will share it on Instagram for people to see.
Yeah, I want to see. I think it's sweet that he made like the effort to make it like a big proposal and stuff.
Well, he had a dog and then someone sold the dog. So he was panicking.
Oh no.
It was like 5 days before the party. And so he just found this dog off Craigslist and it's Obi, and he's like my freaking baby.
Uh-huh.
You're like, this one has fleas, but here you go.
Yeah.
This is the second chance dog.
So and then we got married on Ovi's birthday. So, but I know.
That's so cute.
And it's just so funny, like how different people are. Because like I would be like, nope, hard pass. Like no, I'm not a grand gesture person, but I love like watching big grand gesture proposals. Like I want to watch like somebody have a flash mob and then propose. But like do that to me, no, buddy, you are out that door.
Yes.
I will be the flash mob, but not receive the flash mob.
I could totally see that.
My proposal, Travis did like perfectly, and it was just us. It was very small and like quiet and like sentimental for us, and it was perfect. I wouldn't have wanted a grand gesture, but I'm with you, Lena. I like to watch other.
Mine was
Big
totally a
gestures.
surprise. We went out for like, we went to Jamestown, and we have been there like a lot, you know, so it didn't feel, unfortunately for him, it like just felt like another day for me, you know, and we just stopped to sit down on this bench and like take a little break, and I was just being my usual self, and he's talking to me. We're having kind of like a normal conversation, and then I felt the conversation shifting, and I was like, and then he just like pulled out the ring, and I was like, excuse me, what? Why is this happening right now?
I love
It was
that,
really
though.
cute.
Like,
But it was
for
so
him to
funny
surprise
because
you?
it really did surprise me, because we had like the backpack in the back seat where the ring was, and of course I didn't know that, but he had needed something out of the backpack, and I had went to go get it when we were driving or whatever. He was like, no, I'll get it later. And it didn't even click until later that that's why he wouldn't let me get it. I was like, no, but I can get it. And he's like, no, I don't need it now. Like he kind of remembered that, oh crap, she might see the ring, or I don't know. It was
Oh
just
my
hilarious.
gosh.
Julie, can you message my boyfriend please and tell him that? Because that sounds great.
Damn. Yep. Mhm.
Yes,
Julie,
Julie.
You go, girl. You get it.
Well, for one of my rules was absolutely not proposing on a holiday. And so the Christmas before we moved in, I was like, oh my God, he's going to propose on Christmas. I'm so mad, but I'm so excited at the same time. He never did. And I was like, propose for Christmas. So I just think it's so tacky to do it. I mean, no offense towards anyone that had that, but like, I was just like, he didn't do it.
I don't want that at all, but now I didn't.
I mean, the pros outweigh the cons, so but yeah, I rated it a 4-star. Did everyone else rate? Whoever wants to go next.
Lena, you should go.
I should go. Okay. So I think I'm gonna settle on a 3-star.
Okay.
Because to me a rom-com shouldn't feel like a chicklet. I shouldn't feel like I'm reading something that I would have read in middle school about like, oh, does he like me? Oh, does he like me? That being said, I liked the pop culture references. I just felt like maybe there didn't need to be one every page. I felt like a couple less would have made them like hit a little bit harder, but it just felt like one after the other. So I definitely could have used a couple less of that. I agree with the epilogue. I would have been happy with just the regular ending. But I like the writing style. I felt like I was able to read it pretty well. But yeah, I feel like I pretty much said a lot of my like issues with it. I wanted more smut. I wanted it to be earlier, not at page 300.
Yeah.
She was a little bit over the top. So I could have done with a little bit less of her, but I liked him. I liked his tattoos. I liked the Cheetos. I liked that it just felt very realistic. Like, let's just go to McDonald's. Like, let's not even, like she tried to have a one-night stand and then she's like, nah, bro, like we're not doing this, instead of like going through with it. And so I liked all of that. I really do wish, and this is where I get on my soapbox, I really do wish that they had done more with the niece with a congenital heart defect, because I feel like that is something that I do not see in literature enough. And if you did not know, 1 in 100 babies is born with a congenital heart defect in the U.S. every year. And my nephew Corbin actually was with us for 2 years, and he actually is no longer with us because of a similar congenital heart defect to what she had in here. So Angie in this book, she had the left side of her heart, but the ventricles connecting it did not work correctly to pump blood in and out. My nephew was born without the left part of his heart. So he underwent 12 open heart surgeries in 2 years and things like that. It was a whole thing. And so I feel like I don't see that very much. And this is only the 3rd book that I've read that has congenital heart defect representation. And I wish that there was more of it, because it affects potentially like 50,000 people in the US every year. So I wish that they had done more with that, especially since she is a nurse. I felt like they could have like definitely like rolled with that trope. So that's just my little soapbox. So I just wanted to, like, everybody to know that. So I appreciate that was in here. And so because of that, I wish that I could rate it more than a 3-star. And I think I will pick up Set on You because it sounds like I might enjoy that one more.
You told me you would.
Yeah. Yeah. So overall, I think I am going to land on a 3-star, but I'm very happy I read it. I'm happy that we picked it for the buddy read. And I think it definitely has a lot of like fun. It was fun. It was fun. I just wanted, like, I like a little bit more like hard hitting in my romance. And so I wish I had that. Wish I had a little bit more hard hitting. Wish I had a little bit more smut. But overall, it was good. I'm glad I read it.
What other 2 books have that you were talking about? Because you said this is the 3rd one you've read.
So The Dream Daughter by Diane Chamberlain. And then I think the other one is, I believe it's The Time Traveler's Wife. I believe, okay. Yes, I believe she has a congenital heart defect in The Time Traveler's Wife.
Okay.
But if I'm mistaken, let me look back through Goodreads, and if I'm mistaken, I'll like put it in the chat. But I believe that is correct.
Okay.
That's cool though. I didn't know any of that, so that like adds so much more to the story for me.
Yeah.
It makes me wish even more that I would have focused more on it.
Yeah.
Nice. I knew
you
it was
go next, or do you want to go next, Summer?
You should go, Gwen.
Okay, I'm gonna just talk about that that part about the heart effect thing. I think a lot of people that don't normally read romance get little bits of pieces and stories like that, and they expect it to be a bigger part of the story, or they want it to be a bigger part of the story. And like, especially because it's something that you like personally relate to and stuff. But at the end of the day, I'm just happy that she included what she did, because the main purpose of the story was the romance between the 2 characters. So I feel like authors shy away from including stuff like that in their books a lot of times, and authors that I've talked to shy away a lot of putting certain things like this, not just this, but other things in their books, is because they're like, I can't spend enough time on this subject, so I would rather get a little bit of it than not at all. So I applaud her for including it, and I thought it was like almost the perfect amount. Like, there was that big huge scene where she was doing the birthday party and stuff like that. Maybe we'll get more in part 3, but to me it was like good, and it made me like interested about it enough that I could like do my own research. It wasn't just like a dash on a page. It was a big enough part of the plot, in my opinion. Okay, so I also rated it 4 stars. The pop culture references, like Lena said, it's kind of like an every page thing. So you can definitely tell that the author loves certain books, certain movies, certain songs, certain artists, and stuff like that. And then I did think Tara was a little over the top, especially being like a bookish person. I find that, I'm not saying that all bookish people are introverts, or all bookish people are like quiet and somber and stuff like that. But I would say like a bigger majority of bookish people are like more tame, more introverted, more like not the sparkly rainbow like butterfly person. And so I was just kind of shocked by that a little bit. I mean, I liked her, but I liked, Crystal, her sister, more so from book 1. And then I know Jessie was talking to me about the epilogue. I actually loved the epilogue so much, because that really is like a classic rom-com thing. And in my opinion, it really showed Trevor's arc. So we got to see a lot of Tara's arc in the story, but I thought that was a great way to cap off like his arc in the story, to show that he can go from being this, like, they tried to make him seem like he was a playboy, a one night stand guy, but at the end, you know how he was saying that he appreciated Tara just the way she was, like their personality. So he's trying to show her that he can like match her energy in a way and be over the top and meet her there. So I really liked it.
Nice.
That's cool. I didn't really think about
Jessie's face. Because Jessie's face when Gwen said she loved that vlog. I know, we already talked about it, but yeah.
That was just too much cheese for my liking.
I know, but I really think it worked.
No, I was saying, I feel like I didn't ever really think about that, like, we're lucky that we got anything that had, like, some kind of depth, like the congenital heart defect thing. So I agree with you, Glenn. I'm like, I wanted more of it, but I'm glad it was there, at least a little bit.
Yeah, I find in rom-coms they do not do as much as like regular. Like if you just pick like a
Yeah.
regular romance, like rom-coms are a little bit different
Mhm.
than regular
They
romance.
have to be a
in
little bit
way.
lighter because of the
Yes, the comedy
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
well, and just like that's what the audience is expecting, I guess, too. Like,
Yes,
that wouldn't
and since
be
this is marketed as a rom-com,
that makes sense.
Yeah.
So I have a question then. Is Part of Your World marketed as a rom-com?
no,
Really? Okay.
I
'Cause
don't think
thought that
so.
book was
Is it?
so funny.
I mean, I think it is
yeah.
too, but I don't think it is.
Not that regular
I feel like
romance
it's
can't be
rom-com
funny, but-
with more like deeper, hard-hitting elements
Mhm.
to it.
Mm-hmm.
Like I wouldn't call it a Colleen Hoover, but it was definitely deeper than this.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Mhm. I'll just keep going, I guess. But I think I'm gonna give it 3 stars. I just really, it was just a little too cheesy, a little too over the top for me. Not that I have to relate to the main character to enjoy a book, but I kind of was expecting to relate to her a lot more, especially like in the first few chapters. I was loving it. I was like, oh my gosh, I didn't know that she was going to be a book influencer when I picked it up. So I was like, I'm going to like relate to her so much. And then seeing her become just a little too much than I would personally be, I was like, oh, I thought I was going to relate to you and I didn't. So that's not the book's fault. It's like my fault, but that kind of added to my like not loving it as much.
Yeah.
Yeah, just the cheesiness, the pop culture references. It was just a little bit too much there for me. I actually really loved the very ending too with the proposal and stuff. I thought that was so cute. I loved it. And just like shows how much Trevor knows her and like loves who she is and wanted to make that special for her. Like, I just loved that. Also, I thought it was cheesy, but also great that she like put the lyrics to Blank Space as like the like intro to the book, because it is so like, yeah,
Like,
they all say I'm crazy, they think I'm insane, like all of that. Also for a lot of this book, Taylor's song Mad Woman was kind of like in my head, because it's like no one likes a mad woman, kind of like calling her crazy, like don't have too many emotions, make yourself smaller so people don't think you're crazy, that kind of a thing. I just wanted to add that because you know I love Taylor, but I'm trying to think if there's anything else. I think that was it. But yeah, I really loved like how easy it was and like a fun, quick read. I loved that we were all doing the buddy read. I thought it was perfect for like this time of year on Valentine's Day. So I'm glad I read it because it was just quick, light, and fun. But it's not like going to be super memorable or like a new favorite book. I definitely liked Set on You better, like I've said. So, but I will be reading the next book for sure.
And I would like to add, because I did get this question last night. I had a friend text me and ask me that was like watching the live shows like throughout the week or whatever, and like the sprints. And she said, I want to read it, but like I don't have it from the library yet. Like, do you think it would be worth reading even after Valentine's Day? And I think yes. So if you didn't read the book and you're planning on picking it up, I don't think you have to read this around Valentine's Day. Like it definitely is like a month or two, leading up to Valentine's Day. And then like the gala happens on Valentine's Day that she like wants a date for. But I don't think you necessarily, I mean, you could have switched out Valentine's Day gala with any other
Christmas party.
Yeah, totally.
I don't think that, I think that you would enjoy this at any time of year. I don't think this is something that you just have to, it's not like Christmas where like, would you really read a Christmas romance in July? Like, I feel like you could read this any time of the year and it wouldn't feel like you were missing out on something or reading it out of the time frame.
I agree.
Jessie, you're muted.
I would say the gala and the epilogue, which I did not like, is the only Valentine's thing related. Yeah. So, ooh, this is interesting. Summer, you should do a BookTube video.
Ooh, I like that because I do have a few actually.
She's like, challenge accepted.
I literally already have like 5 in my brain. I love that idea. I'm going to do that.
I looked up Part of Your World and it says it's a blend of fun rom-com, depth, and humor. So it's not marketed as a rom-com.
Yeah.
It just has a blend of it in there.
Yeah.
Yeah. I love rom-coms. Like rom-coms are like my jam. So I can usually pick them out when it's that.
Yeah. Plus, Part of Your World is just like top tier.
I know. That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
You do no wrong. Well, that is the end of the discussion. thank you guys so much for putting up with this book and putting up with me for
I loved it. It was
So
such a
fun.
good week. I had so much fun. I
Mhm.
hope this event comes back next year. I want to thank everybody that participated. It was
Yeah.
so much fun,
Yeah.
like talking to people all throughout the week and like seeing their progress on their books and everybody posting the pictures and like it was just amazing.
Yeah.
It was an awesome turnout. I loved
Yeah.
it.
I know. I did not think it was going to be this well. It's just crazy, insane. Like,
Mhm.
I guess I shouldn't use the word crazy.
It's all right.
Ludicrous right now. But yeah, I would love to do this again next year. So I'm definitely keeping this on top priority for 2024 because I think it just turned out really well. It got a lot of good traction. So yeah, thank you guys for being my co-host. And I don't know if Lauren's still in the comments. I saw her pop in again, but thank you, Lauren, for being a co-host and stuff like that as well. Let's see. Please bring it back next year. I definitely will. I plan to. And thank you to Summer for making all the wonderful graphics. Just so top perfection right there.
It was so fun. I loved it.
But yeah, anyone that's still watching, make sure if you haven't already, check out all the co-hosts. I should have it in the description box for everyone to go see, check them out, give them all the love. But yeah, unless you guys have anything to add, we'll end the discussion.
I think we're good. I just loved, doing it with you guys. So
I know this was just so much fun and like getting to see everyone. I just loved it. I'm sad.
It's kind of sad it's over.
I know. I don't want it to end.
It's over almost in a way, but oh well.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I guess until next year or
This
later
is-
on next
This
week.
is Timo signing off.
But we will end and I will see you guys next time, I guess. I don't know. Bye, y'all.